Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 24-hour reading challenge. So I thought it would be super fun if we just read summer books, like strictly only summer books for 24 hours. You can see how many summer books I can read in a 24-hour period. So no, I will not be staying up all night. This will not be a traditional 24-hour reading challenge. We are going to be doing a stop and go timer. I just recently, a month ago, did a actual 24-hour reading challenge and I don't want to do another one for a really long time. So we're gonna just be setting a timer for 24 hours. Plus then I can also see how much I can actually read in 24 hours, because when I do it in a 24-hour period I read so slow and I get so exhausted. So this way we're gonna actually be able to see how much I can truly read in 24 hours. So before I start the timer, I do want to talk about the book that I'm going to be starting with, which is Broken Country. I started this yesterday and I am 50 pages in. I'm on page 51. I don't really know where we're going with this book, but I feel like so much has already happened. We were following 3 different timelines. We were following the before timeline, which is 1955, and then we're following the present timeline, which is 1968, and then we also have a future murder trial timeline that takes place in 1969, so a year after the present timeline. And we keep getting like very small glimpses of this murder trial and I genuinely have no idea what's gonna happen and what's gonna lead to that. I can't even guess right now. But basically in the present timeline we were following our female main character Beth, and she lives on a farm with her husband Frank and his brother Jimmy, and someone from her past, Gabriel, ends up showing up and they seem to have had this big love back in the past, but they end up meeting again in a very tragic way because Jimmy ends up shooting Gabriel's son's dog. So it's a very like traumatic first meeting again of them. And then we're getting the past timeline from when Beth and Gabriel first meet, and then when they, I guess, are gonna fall in love. I don't really know. We haven't had too many past chapters yet, just a few. So far it is so incredibly fast paced. It did take me like the first 20 pages to get used to this author's writing style, but now I am hooked. I am so intrigued as to where this is gonna go. It's a relatively short book. It is just over 300 pages and the chapters are just like a few pages long, so it's really easy to fly through, and I am just so curious how this is gonna go. I feel like we're just getting this like really cozy like farm summer mystery with like this subplot of romance, maybe, I don't know, but I'm just here. I'm really enjoying it so far. I've been putting this book off for a really long time, so I'm so glad that I am finally reading it. So with that being said, it is time to start our timer and start reading our first book. I have hit the almost 4-hour mark. We have just about 20 hours left and I have like 90 pages left in this book, and now this is a hashtag sick in bed with a stomach bug 24-hour reading challenge. And I don't think I've updated you guys on this yet much at all. Also, I still don't know really how to explain it because I feel like with thrillers, well, this isn't like a thriller, it's a fiction, but it has such a strong like mystery plot that it's hard to explain like what it's about because I don't know what's important to like the plot twist. I don't want to spoil anything. Of course, right as I start filming, the lawn guys come literally right right now. And so in the past timeline, we were following our female main character Beth, and there's this kid Gabriel who moves in to the farm, who lives on the farm pretty close by to her, and he has like this rich family, and they kind of don't get off on the best foot, but it eventually turns into like a kind of like a friends to lovers sort of situation in the past, but then like they have like a falling out sort of situation that's not the best. And then in the present timeline, Beth is married to a guy named Frank, and she lives on the farm with Frank and his brother Jimmy. All we know in the beginning is that her and her husband lost their son when he was 9. We don't know how. Eventually we do learn how, but it's just something that's really talked about because they still are going through this like grieving process. Like it definitely left like a really big toll on their relationship. But Gabriel shows back up and he now has a 9-year-old son, and so they end up reuniting that way. It's like we're really just learning everything. Like we learned about Bobby, who was Beth and Frank's son who passed away, and we're kind of just like learning about things. We're just honestly following these characters, and I know that we're building up to this mystery because we don't know what's gonna happen at all, but we keep like kind of foreshadowing at things, and it's just like I am so hooked. Like I have never read a more fast-paced book where I'm just like, okay, another chapter, okay, another chapter, where I just want to keep reading and reading and reading because it is so addicting. And the chapters are literally like a few pages long. Like every single one of them are like a few pages long, so every time I finish a chapter I'm like, okay, one more, okay, one more. So like I said, I have like 90 pages left, so I'm gonna lay here and just read. Start our timer again. Like I said, we have about 20 hours left, so let's get back to reading. Okay, so I have finished Broken Country, and I'm gonna wait to give my full review and ratings until the end of the video because especially now that I'm sick, I need to like be able to process my feelings for these books, but especially with this one because I just feel like so much happened and I just need to like process, think about my rating before I give it to you guys. But now it's time to pick our next book, and so I'm coming over here to my TBR cart, and this right here is top row is mainly my summer TBR. So I have like most of these books besides these two are my summer TBR, but right here is my July TBR. So I really want to try to pick books only from this, and like 4 out of 6 of these books are summer books, so we have really good options here. And I think I really want to pick up Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. This came out a little over a month ago and I've just been so excited to read it, so I'm gonna like start reading like a little bit of it and see if I'm in the mood for it, and if not, we'll come back to my TBR card and pick something else. But I do want to see if I can get into this one, and in all honesty, I have no idea what this book is about, like at all. I'm pretty sure there's a fake dating trope in it, but other than that I know nothing, because I will always read every single book that Annabelle Monaghan comes out with. It doesn't matter what it's about, I'm gonna read it. So I don't know what this is about, but I'm so excited to start it. He's literally always right here, which makes it okay. I move for a second and he's up. He wakes up literally the second I move. But I want to update you guys on Dolly All the Time because I have 17 hours left and I'm on chapter 9, page 90. He's gonna start meowing again literally right now, and he's gonna want to lay down and cuddle and go back to sleep. I can't do that right now. So in this book, we are following our female main character Dolly. She is a 39-year-old woman. She is a single mom, and for the summer she is moving back to her childhood home to help out her dad and her brother just to help take care of things, take care of the house and everything. And Dolly is a woman who wants to get everything done. She wants to do everything herself, and she wants to get everything done as soon as possible, and she's taking on a lot of responsibilities, and I could just see that this is not gonna go well. She's probably gonna have a big breakdown near the end of this book just based on how much she's taking on just herself. Okay. He does this all the freaking time. Every time I'm trying to film. Guess I'm gonna lay back and do this, or else he's gonna get up again. So like I said, she's home for the summer, and she ends up running into our male main character, Stuart, he comes from this very rich family, and basically she's making like a delivery, I think it was shrimp, to his house, and then on the way back she runs into him and he has a flat tire, and she actually changes his tire for him because he doesn't know how to. And what magazine was it? Was it the Post, I think? Someone took a picture of it happening, and then it kind of looked as if she was like changing his tire for it, whatever. He spun the story so that it looked like he was teaching her to change a tire or something like that. I don't know why I can't remember exactly what the story said. Probably because I was unwell yesterday when I was reading it. Oh, by the way, I am like low-key feeling better today. Hopefully it stays that way, but I'm feeling better today. But I'm having a hard time remembering a little bit of what I read yesterday. Anyways, Stuart is going through a breakup with his fiance right now because she was seen taking a picture kissing a Yankee player, and so he wants to kind of fake date Dolly and have like more like a public relationship, a little bit like fake date for the public, so that he doesn't seem like this weak guy. It's mainly for business purposes on his end because, like I said, he comes from a very wealthy family, and he has like this big family business, and so it would be like a bad look if he comes off as this weak guy who gets cheated on. And in exchange for her helping him by fake dating, he's going to pay her enough money to fix her roof at her childhood home, because it's gonna be like $50,000 and she doesn't have the money to fix that. But like I said, she's a fixer and she wants everything to be fixed for her dad and everything. So I just got to the part where she's going shopping with Stuart's sister. She's getting like a bunch of like fancy clothes and stuff for the events that she has to go with Stuart to, and just to play the part. She got a haircut, she got a bob, which I love so much. But I think what I'm realizing, I really love Annabelle Monaghan's books when the female main character is a mom. Like, some of my favorite books by hers, actually all of them, my two favorite books by her so far are Nora Goes Off Script and Summer Romance. And I really love her characters when they're moms, because I don't know, it just brings like this element to her books that she writes so well, and I just really love that aspect of that. And I just feel like there's always so many themes in her books that just bring so much to the characters and the story and the plot and everything. Like, it's not just a romance, there's stuff that I know that she's dealing with internally, there's family dynamic issues, there's friendship things. Like, it's just, there's so much within her books that just, oh, it's just so good, and I'm just so happy to be reading a new book of hers, and her longest ever. All right, well, I'm gonna get back to reading because he needs to go to sleep. Okay, so I haven't updated you guys, and I just realized that, but I have like 60 pages left in this book, and I need to give you guys one last update before I finish it, because I'm literally about to go sit on my patio and finish this. So like I said, this is a fake dating trope in order to help our male main character with his business. Something that I really love about this book specifically, and this fake dating trope, is I feel like in a lot of books the female main character might like tell her best friend about it and like tell her that they're not actually dating, but it's usually like no one really knows. But in this, it's like she's told her whole family. They've all signed NDAs, and literally like his sister knows. Like, it's not just the two of them that are in on this secret. They're not fooling everyone, and everyone that they love too. And like I said, her family dynamic and everyone in her family plays such a big role in who she is and what she does and everything. And I really love that about her books, is that family is always such a huge topic, whether it's children that the female main character has, or it's like parental relationship, or no matter what it is, there's always some sort of family topic, family business going on that's really just so wholesome. And I don't know, I just really love it. And you can just see how much family means to the female main character. And I think also, like, I always feel like when I'm reading one of Annabelle Monahan's books, it's like such a warm hug, and I think it's because she just comes across as family being so important. And it's just, when you read her books, it's like she's hugging you, like she's giving you a hug, because just her words are so comforting almost. And the fact that the female main characters, like, she's 39, Dolly's 39, and she is a single mom, and she is moving back home for the summer. She usually just lives on her own with her 13-year-old son, and she's such, I wouldn't even say she's a people pleaser. It's just that she is always doing everything for other people because she always feels like she has to, and she never like lets herself have what she wants. But if someone else wants it, like, of course they're gonna get it. But there's no judgment when it comes to her books. It's just like telling the story, and it's just so cozy and warm, and I love her writing so much. If I could read a new Annabelle Monahan book every single day of my life, I would be the happiest girl in the world. Like, literally, it's just so good. I'm gonna go sit on my patio and finish this. We are at the, I would say it's like a third act breakup, unfortunately. We all know I hate that. I hate the third act breakup, but it's like almost not so bad with her books because her writing, everything just makes it like worth it. Like, I'm just here for a good time, and it just, oh, it's so fun. I love her books so much. Okay, so we have just under 12 hours left, and the next book that I'm gonna read is The Ballad of Never After, which is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. And I've been 100 pages into this book since May. I got caught up with other books and I just never finished this one, and I'm very much in the mood to read on my Kindle, and this is the only one on my July TBR that I can read on my Kindle right now. But I'm first in line for a lot of the other books through Libby, so I'm just gonna try to finish this one while I wait for the other books. So like I said, I'm 100 pages in. I'm on chapter 12. It's been so long. I just had to like read a bunch of summaries from the first book and everything that's happened in the second book so far. But if you're unfamiliar with what this trilogy is about, we're basically following our female main character, Evangeline. The guy that she is in love with ends up falling in love with her stepsister, and they're gonna get married. But before they do, she makes a deal with Jax, who is, what is he called again? I forgot like why he's bad. I forget like what his title is, but it's bad that she makes this deal with him, and he ends up turning the whole wedding party and everyone at her stepsister's wedding into stone, and the only way to undo it is to drink this potion sort of thing to turn yourself into stone. So Evangeline ends up drinking the potion because she doesn't want her loved ones to be stone. But the deal that she ends up making with Jax is that she has to kiss 3 people of his choosing, and it's not like a romantic kiss. It's all like for his own motivations and everything, and when she kisses them, they kind of fall under her spell, and it's all just very like fairy tale, like storybook-esque. Like, she has pink hair, which I just love, and it's all just like very whimsical, and that's the only way I can describe it. And so it gives very much like a summer fantasy book, so that's why it kind of counts for this video, because if there's any book that gives like summer fantasy, I feel like it's this series. It's definitely like summery vibes, just because it is so like storybook and whimsical and stuff like that. So I'm very excited to continue this, but I'm a little nervous just because it's been so long. I feel like I'm not gonna remember it very well. I did really enjoy the first book, and I was enjoying the second book even more, and I'm very excited to see where this series is gonna go. I just low-key like can't remember much. I'm on chapter 12 and we're gonna keep reading, and I'm thinking that I could probably finish this book and then still have enough time to read one more book for this challenge. Let's get to reading. Okay, so slight change of plans. We will not be reading Ballad of Never After because I'm just like so not into it. Like I'm sitting there, I'm reading it, and like I don't know if I'm in a fantasy mood. Like I might just not be in a fantasy mood, or I just took too much time between reading the first 100 pages and now I'm just like not interested. I don't know. I hope that someday I can actually be in the mood for it again and continue it, but for now we are going to be reading The Wedding People, which is better anyways because it is obviously more summery. So I did start this because I needed to see if I could actually get into it. I didn't want to tell you guys I was reading another book that I wasn't even gonna actually read, and so I was able to get into it. I will say the first couple chapters, the first chapter was a little hard to get through, but after that it really just got really fast paced and I was just hooked. And so this is a book that you're gonna need to go into. Look up trigger warnings for sure because we are following our female main character Phoebe, and she goes to this really fancy hotel for the night in full intent of ending her life that night at the hotel. And the next chapter after that, we are learning why she feels that way and what led her to this point in her life. And that's kind of what you also need to read the trigger warnings for, because I feel like every bad thing, oh my gosh, it was like truly horrible. I feel like she went through so much and it all just kind of dumps it in a couple chapters, and so it's a lot to read about at first. It's very, very dark, but then once you get past that, there is a lighter part to this book. So I'm very far into this now because I forgot to update you guys. I really forgot to update you guys because this also is available on Libby. It finally came through as available, so I'm reading it on my Kindle, so it's going by so quickly. I'm 50% through this book right now, and it has just been so fast paced. So like I said, our female main character, she goes to this hotel with that intent in mind, but when she gets there, she realizes that there's this whole wedding going on during this week that she's there, and she finds out that she's the only person at the hotel that night that isn't part of the wedding party. And it was like a big mistake that she was even allowed to like book a room. Like no one is allowed to be there besides this wedding party, and she ends up becoming friends with the bride, and the bride is like, no, you can't do that on my wedding week, like that's unacceptable, you cannot do that to me. And they end up becoming friends. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. But I personally love this mental health representation. I think that reading a book like this about a character who is not just going through something, but she's at the worst mental state that you could possibly get to, I think it is so rare to read about a character like that, because nobody writes about characters who are about to end their lives, so you never really get to see that very, very troubled mindset, I guess you could say. But I think that it's something that is so common and realistic, and I think it's something that we shouldn't be shying away from. I mean, I get that it's triggering to read for some people, but I still think that it's something that should be talked about more because so many people go through stuff like this, and I think that it's something that we should sort of start to normalize and talk about this sort of stage in people's lives before it's too late. Anyways, I'm gonna continue reading this. Like I said, I'm about 50% through, and we have just under 7 hours left. We are at 6 hours and 53 minutes left, so I think there's like, let's see how much longer I have in this book, because I know we're gonna have a couple hours after I finish it to still read. Yeah, we have 4 hours and 43 minutes left in this book, so we'll have like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know what anyways, that's not a problem for right now. Let's just get back to reading. I have finished The Wedding People, and like I feel like the last thing that I told you guys was that I was really enjoying like the mental health representation and everything in this. I ended up not really liking this book all that much. I decided on 3 stars for this book. I'm just gonna first off list all the things that I really like about this book. The mental health representation, the relationship between Phoebe and the bride, the level of honesty within how all of the characters are feeling and how relatable all of them were, and yeah, I think think that's it. And yes, I really do appreciate all of those things being in this book, and I really enjoyed those aspects of it, but I feel like our female main character started to become very overlooked, and like once she didn't end her life, we sort of started just focusing a lot more on the wedding party's problems and like the bride's problems and the groom's problems, and just like everyone else kind of took the front seat while Phoebe kind of took the back seat, and she was then like kind of helping the whole wedding party. And I really thought it was like very cool that because no one really knew Phoebe, she was kind of like this stranger, they all felt this like comfort within her in order to like tell her things and be honest with her, and she felt like the same exact way about these people. Like she was able to tell the bride about stuff, she was able to tell the groom about things, and like I really loved all those aspects of it. But because we lost the plot of this depression and stuff like that, I kind of lost interest, and I don't know, I just didn't care as much about the side characters, and that's who we started like really focusing on, so it just kind of lost me. But I would still really recommend it because of the mental health and some representation and everything. But again, please look up trigger warnings because this is a heavy book, and I mean you can kind of tell if you like look into the cover, like she's drowning and she has like a bottle of champagne or something like that, so it's giving very like heavy, but like you don't really understand until you read it. Like it gets pretty dark, and so just go into this book knowing that, but please again look up trigger warnings. So 3 stars for this one, and it is time to read our next book, and we have literally 2 hours left. There are 2 hours left on the timer, so we need to find something to read for just a little bit in this reading vlog. And I don't know if you guys can see, but like this whole section right here is still very full of my summer TBR, but guess what? I'm in a fall mood now, and I can't help it. I literally cannot help it. I have been going Halloween hunting, I have been doing lots of fall things, and I just like I can't deal with summer anymore. And I know the whole concept of this video is to read only summer books for 24 hours. I don't really know what to do with that, so I am going on my new iPad, and on Libby I was able to get A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, and I feel like her books are very like cozy, and they do give me like a fall vibe, but they're not strictly fall. And I don't think this one even takes place in fall. I think it may take place in summer, I'm not sure yet, but I just feel like this book will be like the perfect balance between summer and fall, so it may be good for this video. And yeah, should I be sticking to my ginormous summer TBR over there? Absolutely. But am I in the mood for any of them? No, I'm really not. And so I was actually in between A Novel Love Story or Bride, so I may just like try to like switch between them, see what I'm in the mood for. I don't want to read the physical copy of this because if people see me reading this with the cover, I'm gonna be really embarrassed, so I'm gonna wait for it to become available on Libby. So I think I am just gonna like sit here and start A Novel Love Story. We'll see if we can get into it, and I literally only have 2 hours left in this reading vlog, so it won't take long at all. So I'm gonna start reading this, and I will let you guys know my thoughts once I get into it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I feel like that lasted forever. When did I even start the challenge? I have been filming this video for like 2.5 weeks now. That did not need to take that long. I have had a timer sitting on my phone for literally almost 3 weeks now. I have gotten to 29%, page 103 in A Novel Love Story. I am loving this so much, and I think my problem recently with reading is that I haven't been reading books that I've necessarily been in the mood for. Like, I've really been trying to stick to my physical TBR, and while I think I really need to stick to my physical TBR and read these books, I have a hard time reading books that I'm not 100% in the mood for because I end up not liking them, and then it puts me into a big slump. So the fact that I'm reading this book and I've been in the mood for this specific book for so long, but because I don't own it physically, I've just been putting it off. And then today I just decided we're reading it, and I'm so glad that I started it. And so in this book we're following our female main character Elsie, and she is going on this trip by herself. It's like her annual book club trip, but she's going by herself this year because everyone else got busy. They couldn't do it this year, so she decided to go by herself because she's been going through a hard time. She went through like a bad breakup with her ex-fiance and she just needed to get out and do this. So on her way to the place that she's staying, she gets caught in like this rainstorm and she almost hits this guy, and then she ends up in this town that she's not even like supposed to be staying in, but she ends up in this town. It's storming and she needs somewhere to go, and her car ends up like breaking down there. So she ends up realizing that she's in the town of her favorite book series, which happened to be like the same book series that she formed this book club around. So like she loves this book series. Like this book series is her absolute favorite, and the author passed away before she could write the final book in the series. But she's like noticing all of these things and all of these places from the books, but there's one thing that's not in the books, and it's this guy named Anders. And Anders is the guy that she almost hit with her car, and he's just like there, and he's the only one who knows that they're in the book. Like everyone else, all the other characters just think it's like their daily lives and everything, but he's the only one who knows that they're all in a book. And then he's also the only person that she doesn't remember from the books. Like she can't understand why he's there and why he knows what's going on, and he won't tell her, of course. So we're like trying to figure out that mystery. And then she's also stuck there until Monday now because her car broke down and the mechanic is out of town for the weekend. So she's stuck there until Monday. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've read so far, but I am so glad, like I said, that I picked this up. The town is giving Gilmore Girls, it's giving Stars Hollow. It is just so cozy, and her books, like I said, they're not like entirely fall. Like I don't even think this takes place in the fall, but it's just so cozy, and I think like the little like magical element really gives it that effect too. So I'm just having so much fun with this, and I will be like continuing this book in my next reading vlog. So if you want to see like my continued thoughts on this book, it will be in my next reading vlog. But with that being said, I did finish the 24-hour reading challenge, so that is the end of this video, and probably the end of like my summer reading vlogs, because I don't know if you can tell, I'm literally fully in the fall mindset now. Like I can't go back to summer. I'm just fully fall now, and I'm not even complaining. But I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I had a lot of fun spending these past 24 hours, but actually like 3 weeks with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys so soon. Bye guys.